Hey everybody, I am making my third live stream. Sorry, I just got distracted because I was trying to remember what I was going to talk about today. I had my video deleted off of YouTube from Tuesday because it violates YouTube's criminal organizations policy. I'm not even sure what that policy means. I didn't read it, and I don't really care. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Why would that happen? I don't know. Maybe if you go back and look at my last live stream here on Facebook, because it's not on YouTube, maybe you could let me know why you think I got my video deleted. I can't answer that, really. I haven't a clue. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, and I actually couldn't find what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you guys the World Economic Forum video that talked about how in the future you will own nothing and you will be happy, because for a while I didn't quite understand how they could say that with a straight face. And I was listening to a guy I listened to on Gab. If you're not on Gab, you can find it at gab.com. Create an account. Go to tv.gab.com and search for Matt Williams. And I was listening to the Matt Williams show, and he made a good point. He said when it says you will own nothing and you will be happy, they're actually not making a I don't know the right term for it, but they're making a declarative statement as opposed to, I think, an imperative. They're saying you will be happy. It's a command. And then when I read it in that context, it all of a sudden made sense. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And so I thought, well, now that makes sense. And I wanted to show it to you, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on YouTube. And I searched on Twitter for like 5 minutes and couldn't find it. So I couldn't show it to you. But what I did find on their Twitter was this, which is from 2016. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing. I have no privacy, and life has never been better. And I thought, well, how can they say that? And of course, the World Economic Forum, you can't expect them to be honest. But what is this? And I figured out, well, this is spoken in the voice of a person. So it's fiction, and it's in the future, and it's a fictional character in the future who's saying this. But this fictional character is lying. See, they're saying this because they have to. Because if they don't, in a communistic system, if you don't laud the goodness and values of the state, and you don't toe the Communist Party line, then you're going to be a political dissident and punished. So obviously this fictional character has to say this. They have no other choice. But yeah, this is from 2016. This has been going on for a long time. I'm happy to see that a lot of people are noticing what game is being played on us. But that is not what I wanted to talk about today. Anyway, I wanted to talk about business again. And I just got a couple points to make, because I wanted to kind of carry off of what I talked about the last live stream. And it was about small business advice and the number one risk factor of small business. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I communicated is an optimistic view. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, is how to have an optimistic view of the situation that we're in, because I do see a lot of pessimism about the way things are going. And there is a lot to be disheartened over, but there is opportunities in everything that an entrepreneur will seek out and find. And so when you have a situation where there's a shortage of something, that looks like a bad situation, but it can be an opportunity. So as entrepreneurs, if you're looking to start up a profit-making endeavor, you want to figure out how to take opportunities. And so that's the general idea of what I wanted to say. Just to give some examples, if you have a shortage of lumber, let's say, or the cost of lumber is increasing, then that creates a possible competitive advantage if you were able to use other building methods that incorporate different products in building the same type of thing. So if you wanted to build homes, garages, decks, what have you, if you can integrate other products that in the past were not as competitive with lumber, with a new increase of price of lumber, these products could be more competitive, and some of the advantages might outweigh the costs now because lumber is increased in price. So building with steel and concrete and composite materials, things of that sort that have not increased as much percentage-wise. If there's a shortage of homes, that means there's going to be an increase in demand for home improvement as people remodel their older homes. There's going to be an increase. You got to look at the market. I'm not really educated on the thing, but maybe there's an increase in landlords and renters. Maybe you have an increased. Think about what do renters need versus a homeowner. What are their habits of purchasing, and find opportunities there, because you're going to find a change in buying habits. And you're going to maybe if you're something completely unrelated to real estate, maybe you're a software developer and you can develop an app for managing rental properties because the percentage of renters has increased, which means there's a higher demand for landlords, that kind of thing. Find something, a market that's going to increase, and take advantage of it. Sorry, my light's falling down over there. If a cost of healthcare increases, that means that there's going to be most likely an increased interest in personal fitness, because people want to avoid going to the doctor, and people are going to be more aware of the cost of being unhealthy. I don't know if that's really happening because the cost of healthcare is increasing, but also the burden is shifting from personal responsibility onto corporate responsibility for that cost via different methods of theft. But anyway, let's go back to what I'm saying here. You have to figure out what's going on. Another thing that I've noticed is there's an increased polarity in society ideologically, like I've talked about in the last couple live streams, and that is a bad thing, but you can take that as an opportunity to position your business. In the past, it was a lot easier to remain neutral in business and try not to offend anybody, and just kind of toe the middle line and just be strictly about business. Well, with the ideologues, at war in culture, then it's a lot harder to do that because people try to force you to take on a political cause or something. But what we do have is we have a disparity between what people are trying to force the ideology that people are trying to be forced into publicly accepting, and the ideology of the average consumer. So that can create a business opportunity. You could position yourself as a business that's resisting, especially if your business is let's just use my area as an example. We're a conservative county, a very conservative area. And so a business that positions itself as the anti-woke, anti-liberal business owner and is not afraid to speak out on political issues, they can create a lot of customer loyalty in that way. Back in 2020, there was a list that went around of businesses that donated. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was donated to the Republicans or something along that lines, donated to Trump. And it was an attempt to smear those businesses. But actually that list helped all those businesses because the average consumer in our area is actually a lot more conservative. So they saw that list and thought, hey, these are the businesses that supported Trump. We're going to go shop there. And so that's actually a business opportunity. My point is, in things that look like a negative, try to look for the business opportunities in those. Inflation, inflation is inevitable at this point. So you have to figure out ways to deal with inflation. I would suggest just a couple pointers. I know there's a lot more if I were to think about it for a while, but just a couple things to get your mind going is you think about ways to stock up on inventory now before the inflation hits those products that you have to buy for your business, before it hits the inventory. So if there's a product that you use regularly and you know you're going to be using it in the future, or a product that you sell, you know you're going to continue selling it, then stock up on inventory now, because I guarantee you 6 months from now it's going to be more expensive. Another thing is to look for ways to vertically integrate your operations into the supply chain. That means take control over your supply chain. The products that you purchase as a business, the products that you need to use, you look for ways to source those products or source similar products that meet the same requirements. And maybe that means you put the products together yourself. Whatever you have to buy, maybe you start producing it. Maybe you become the producer of the things that you buy for your business. And that way you're now in more control of your own supply chain, because now you're building your own inventory. You're actually manufacturing the products that you use in inventory. Or you find another way to use a similar product that does the same thing, that is not as prone to the shortages that are happening. And make a plan to roll out price increases now to your customers. So if you have the expectation that your prices are going to increase 6 months from now, you make a plan now to roll out that price increase to your customer, and then you can control the timing, and you can control the narrative, and you can plan it out, and you can roll out the price increase to your customers on your terms, as opposed to waiting for the market to force you to raise your prices, and then you have a last minute email you send out to everybody saying, hey, we just got forced to raise our prices, and you don't have much control over the timing of it and the wording of how you present that increase to your customers, and the method. You maybe would be better to have an in-person visit as opposed to a last-minute email kind of thing. So you start planning now to roll out a price increase to your customers, and then you'll be ahead of the game compared to your competition. These are just ideas. There's a lot more ideas. Just wanted to throw out some things, and then I'm going to finish Joshua 1, 7 through 8. And let's see, do I have any comments? I don't have any comments, I don't think. Hey, Carl, I see you liked my video. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so Bible verse. I'm going to read Joshua 1, 7, and 8. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe and do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and you will have good success. Jesus is King.